Well, hey, we got maybe the best SBC leak of Team of the Season so far, and the title of the video is just Good SBC Leak, because I think it's kind of what it is. It's a good SBC leak. It's not insane, but at this point, it's the best one we've got so far. I don't know what's going on with content. You've heard this a million times now. We'll talk about that. EA's earnings call as well happened yesterday, and we'll go through kind of what that all looked like, because it is kind of what we thought we might see because of the lazy content that's been happening since Team of the Season. The earnings must be in pretty good shape, and it did look like that was the case, except there is a caveat to that, and we'll talk about that when we get there as well. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You could use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. We got an evolution leak as well, some random bits of news to talk about, and thank you all for joining and being here today. I am obviously greatly appreciative of all of you. I apologize for no upload yesterday. It would have just been me losing full anyway, because the Street Memories Evo has a max 87 shooting stat requirement, or sorry, not requirement. If that was the case, it wouldn't be the worst ever, but it was the stat cap of 87 shooting. 87 shooting in May as a stat cap, which that existed. Luckily, Marathon Man that came out today was quite a bit better. But yeah, one other reason I would have been losing full in yesterday's video was because we got a 90 plus TOTS trade-in. There are no under 90 cards or Team of the Season. They don't exist. 90 plus TOTS is all the TOTS. This shows to me one of two things. It's either a psychological ploy to make it seem like it's better than it is, or two, it's incompetence, right? Because they didn't need to add that in at all. I, for one, will go with the psychological ploy aspect, because they sure do love their manipulation, or attempt at manipulation at least. But yeah, attempting to explain the content right now is a fruitless task. I'm not even going to attempt to. I don't understand it myself. And the daily upgrades are also gone, apart from the Super Daily Silver, because that stayed. The crafting or whatever, the grind upgrade, sorry, that still is there, but the daily ones are gone, and I'm sure they'll come back out in a few days or whatever to, you know, have a day of content basically through those. Yeah, I don't know. I sound like a whiny little bitch, and that's because I'm whining right now because I don't get what the hell they're doing. But okay, let's get on to the title of the video now and stuff. We have got an SBC leak. It's a 95 Javi Simons SBC, which I think is safe to say looks like, with these official stats here and playstyle pluses, it's probably the best TOTS SBC apart from Due, I would say. I personally would say this card might be a little bit better than Due. Finesse, incisive, low driven, 95 pace. Every Javi Simons card is very, very good in FIFA. I think this is actually an SBC you should be kind of excited for. And that's probably the best one of the whole Bundesliga TOTS, is my guess. Because it's the first one leaked, and leakers are like probably grasping at straws, trying to search for any of the best leaks as soon as they possibly can. My guess is this is probably the best one. We will see. We have no idea of that. Just a hunch of mine. But hey, you know what? I'm just happy to see something different. That's all I care about. So hopefully this could be the start of something. I'm not going to hold my hopes up, or I don't think you should probably get your hopes up either, but hopefully it's a start of something for this Team of the Season. And the other SBC leak that we've talked about, I think it was maybe like 3-4 days ago now at least, this Wrighton card that we have not seen yet, and we have like 1 or 2 days left to see this card. And some people suggested that it could be an ultimate Team of the Season SBC, which I don't know how the hell we'd have that leaked already, but okay, we got like 2 days left for this to come to fruition, and no other leakers have leaked it apart from FUT Agent, so maybe it is more of in question than it was before. And the only other leaks that we've got right now is actually the ones that EA posted, and that's this Harry Kane card in the middle, who looks ridiculous with 5-star, which is crazy. Low driven, first touch, incisive, and finesse shot with 99 shooting. Yeah, I mean, that card is going to be nuts. And over here is obviously Victor Osimhen with 4-star, 5-star finesse, chip shot, quick step, and low driven. 97 pace there on Osimhen. And I believe this one is harder, so harder has incisive, or sorry, I can't see, low driven, technical, tiki-taka, and finesse shot, with a pretty damn good card too, 5-star, 5-star, so definitely like it harder there. But yeah, that's that for the cards coming Team of the Season. I think Garassi was leaked as well, actually, but no official card on Garassi, so I'm not even gonna bother showing you that, but he's confirmed to be in Team of the Season as well. Next up for leaks here, we've got an evolution leak, a center back Evo, bruiser plus, block plus, and slide tackle plus. Big stat boost for pace, defending, and physicality, max 10 play styles as well. And FUT Police Leaks went through down here on some of these cards that could fit, and I won't bother showing you all of them. If you want to go look through his Twitter, you can, but this Konate doesn't fit, for example. But this has kind of been the problem with evolutions recently, is that if you make an Evo that, for example, has bruiser, block, and slide tackle, right? And we'll see if slide tackle gets applied first, hopefully not. But you got a card that you're giving two, you know, pretty damn good playstyles with, in bruiser and block, but then slide tackle is a third one, isn't that great. Some people do like slide tackle. I don't want to like rule it out fully here, but I would say for most of us, it's not that relevant. And there's so many TOTS cards right now, like that Boshagli card that has 3 of the best defending playstyles $86,000 on it. It's 86,000 coins. So this is where you end up with that problem of like, why not just use this card over whatever your card looks like after this Evo? Hopefully Slide Tackle isn't first, so then maybe it'll actually compete with that card. But with the way the stat caps have been, it hasn't really been that way. So this is where I think we end up with kind of boring Evos because it's going to look maybe decent, but nothing too crazy. And right now they kind of have to go crazy. And then that ties back to the power curve problem where it went very quickly this year. And at this point, how do you fix it? You kind of got to go insane for the rest of the year almost and hopefully restart it next year. But it doesn't look like so far EA are probably going to do that. And maybe that's not even the best way to do it. I don't know. But it just seems like at this point, you kind of got to go all out with stuff, especially now that we're in May. You know, it's not like we're in February with this problem. We're in May with this problem right now. And also today, there was an 8-hour maintenance. And I'm pretty sure it lasted like 10 hours, I want to say. And how much time in advance was there to this notice? Not long at all. I don't know why they don't plan these out days and days ahead of time so you can try and work around it if you need to get rivals wins or whatever. You have so many time-based objectives or rewards, and game modes are almost all time-based. That kind of sucks. When you plan on playing during a certain time, it's like, oops, we have a 7.5-hour maintenance. Sorry. It ended up being longer than that. It's like, okay, yep, no rivals games for you. If you didn't get your rivals games in, they're not going to extend the shit. So if you relied on playing during this time, sorry, you're out of luck. I do wonder if this genuinely, this is super tinfoil hat. I wonder if they like that because it makes you want to always consider a maintenance could happen when you're trying to get rivals rewards done, trying to do it sooner. Make sure you always have it done before Wednesday in case there's maintenance. I don't know, but I'm just so surprised that this hasn't changed. This is the exact same. We still get noticed like a couple hours before. It's on a Wednesday of rivals rewards. Like, I just don't understand this. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about EA's whole press conference they had earlier. So warning you right now, we have a giant flashbang on the way, but wanted to very quickly talk about this first because people saw this in this EA press conference where FC 26 is supposed to come out in Q2 for them. People thought Q2, well, that has to be April, May, and June, right? That makes no sense why this game would come out in one of those 3 months. EA's financial Q2 is, I think it's like July to September. So or June to September, I want to say. So it's the same time as always. It pretty much confirms that it'll be the same time as always when FC 26 drops. But okay, flashbang time. Here we go. We have got their earnings call stuff here. And there's a couple interesting quotes from Andrew Wilson in here talking about FC. So long story short, EA stock rose 6% yesterday. They beat revenue by, I think it was 350 million. Yes, 350 million right here. And FC is kind of their main moneymaker, right? So you can always assume that they're going to talk about FC some in these press conferences. So Andrew says in here, it's because of our strong execution and unwavering focus, we were able to deliver Q4 results that significantly exceeded our expectations. Highlighted by re-acceleration of growth in EA Sports FC, with some more stuff in there. And down here, he says, listen to this, through deep community engagement, innovative content, and agile execution, we reignited momentum in EA Sports FC after temporary slowdown in Q3. The January gameplay update, which was the biggest live service update we've ever launched in FC, combined with outreach to our player community in our Team of the Year event, resulted in a true brand building moment with our fans. What do you guys think? I can't say that's how we saw it, but okay, we'll continue. Feedback was overwhelmingly positive on the faster pace of gameplay and reward tuning. The regular cadence of updates, events, and highly valued content releases that followed throughout the quarter continued this strong momentum. As a result, net bookings came in well above expectations, with player engagement up double digits following the January update. And we talked about this some, I think, in our last video, looking at the player accounts. He says, specifically, our competitive cohort engagement returned to more normalized levels and ended the quarter up year over year. So I think the player count he's probably talking about there some. And they really just keep talking about the gameplay update. They can't stop talking about this because it was really their only high point of the year, it seems like. After the gameplay update, FC Ultimate Team posted high single-digit net bookings growth in constant currency, fueled by strong re-engagement from our competitive cohort. Again, just word soup, vomit bullshit. You already know how it is. EA Sports FC showing positive net bookings momentum. The thing is, though, with January was Team of the Year time, so I'm not surprised to see it doing, better in Team of the Year than it was prior to Team of the Year, because we're still January 1st to I think March 31st. So I'm not really too surprised to see it doing better, honestly, but I don't know. And the last thing I want to talk about here is somebody asked the question to him saying, what were the issues that were going on in FC for it to have that slowdown, and now how did you fix them, right? So what were the issues and how did you fix them? And Andrew Andrew Wilson basically says here, the main issue was less players moving from the old title to the new title in 24 to 25 at the same rate they had in the past. And the second reason was that they fixed gameplay. We worked very closely with them being their core competitive gameplay cohort. So that's probably us, right? Like that's literally us. I just don't understand this working closely with us. They made changes that were probably pretty popular, but there's no working with us. I mean, there's nobody to talk to. How could you be working with us when we don't have anybody to talk to about gameplay? Because right now we're all unhappy again. There's nobody to talk to again. So you're gonna make the gameplay next year and hopefully it's good. Otherwise, who the hell do we go and talk to? The EA forums? Like, where are you supposed to go with this stuff? So the first track, really incentivizing players to move from 24 to 25. So next year, just get ready to see crazy rewards for pre-ordering next year's game. I promise you, we're gonna see the biggest rewards next year for pre-ordering a single FC than we've ever seen before. So that's the biggest thing for them, is worrying about getting people to the next game next year, because they didn't do that this year. So that's kind of the main stuff that they talked about. They talked about briefly the World Cup license is very important to them, though. They said that was a huge saving grace in them saving numbers post-COVID, because many franchises lost a bunch of players when COVID kind of ended. FC didn't as much, or FIFA didn't as much, because they had the World Cup right away after. So they talked about how it is very, very important for them to get the World Cup, because as we know, that's not a guarantee now that FIFA doesn't work with them. So I don't know. That's really all there is to say, and it's kind of what we expected to see, considering we figured their numbers were up because they don't give a fuck about content right now, it seems like. And they said here in this quote as well, it's the next defining moment for the FC franchise and a major acquisition opportunity. So I'm assuming they're going to really try and push towards getting the World Cup license. My guess is they'll be able to, because they just have so much goddamn money. But yeah, that's kind of it, and it's kind of what we expected. Just prepare yourselves next year for the biggest pre-order bonuses you will have ever laid your eyes on. I promise you, it is going to be crazy. But okay, Prem Team of the Season, Post Rivals rewards, I'm 100% down. 100% into buying these cards. Bruno's on at 51k. Oh my god, 51k for TOTS Bruno. Trent, 81,000. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. Now, listen, with how cheap the market is, I can't say it's really any buy right now is guaranteed at all. I mean, it never is, but especially now, I'm still going to go out and buy myself maybe a Trent, maybe some of these cheaper Team of the Season cards. They might go up 10k or so over the next few days if I had to guess. Looking at like maybe Saturday when they're out of packs, right? They might be up like 10,000 or so. And these guys like Cunha, maybe he's up a little bit more. Gravenberch, maybe he's up a little bit more than that, obviously. But I'm still thinking Rivals Rewards looks pretty damn good for buying this stuff. And then Fodder is the same way. You know, right now the leaks and stuff, we don't have crazy leaks. We've got Xavi Simons and maybe Wrighton, but is that enough for Fodder to rise? No, with how just in the mud it is. So I think we need something a lot bigger to make Fodder rise. I wouldn't focus on that right now, really. You can always buy it, considering it's just so goddamn cheap, but I think there's no real urgency to at the moment, at least from what we've seen so far. But okay, let's read your guys' comments now. We've got, well, first of all, Easy G, I packed this guy called Dembele. Is he any good? No, he's terrible. At Bankero Gamer, I'm not a casual, not a hardcore player either. Div 2 and I chill in FUT champs, but gosh, this year I'm really not enjoying the game. And I'm reading this comment because many of you said the same thing, whether you're a casual or not. I know oftentimes some people think they're casuals, but really they're not to that same level a real casual would be. But just reading from what I got in the comment section in my last video, it really was like, there's not many people enjoying this game right now. And I know that maybe because we're more critical of the game, we kind of harbor that more often, you know, trying to just be as unbiased as I can be. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not seeing happy people out there, okay? I'm just not seeing it. The one bright side to this is that if EA really do think that the gameplay change was the reason that they got back on track this year, they are gonna, at least more so now, focus on making better gameplay in future FC titles. I think the reason we haven't seen much gameplay change since the January updates, because there's just not that many people working on this game still. They're going on to FC 26 now, and they're working on that game. We do have some hope that next year's gameplay is better than maybe, say, some previous year's initial gameplay. But to think about the last few years, I mean, I think FIFA 23 had the best initial gameplay. I think this year and last year was bad initial gameplay. But I think, you know, this might be copium, but it does feel like if they genuinely think that gameplay affects their profits, they will actually give a shit towards it, because that's their end-all be-all, obviously. But I'm trying my best to find players who are enjoying this, and I just cannot find them. And it's Team of the Season time, which is, it's almost impossible to do. Like, Team of the Season time, even if people don't like the game at all, they still kind of enjoy it because it's Team of the Season. You pack a lot of stuff. You kind of are in the chill part of the year. Still no. How is that possible? An EA goon here, I think that's EA goon, who says, I'm not really one to comment, but the hackers on PC have not been spoken about enough. I definitely agree. And for me personally, I haven't played that many hackers myself on PC, but I think I'm just in the minority there because I see constantly in my comments talking about, I played 2 cheaters this weekend. I played 3 cheaters this weekend. And I've played, I think maybe in total about 5 cheaters this year or so, I would say, over the course of my PC time starting in January. So 5 over like 3 or 4 months. And every time it's like soft hacks, so that your players are much slower, and it's not like even debatable they're hacking. It's obvious they're hacking. It's just not like as simple as disconnecting you and you getting the loss. It's very much so your players are stuck in mud. They literally are running at half speed. I'm assuming there's some kind of slider manipulation going on, and then you're down 3-0 in 10 minutes, and at that point you might as well just back out because you know you have no chance in the game, right? But the hacker problem is also there, and that's just a gaming problem in general right now. Hackers are, just simply put, beating the anti-cheat guys, and I don't know when that's going to change because that's a big problem in COD. It's a big problem in any competitive shooter right now. I think Valorant's the only one that's really combated it to a certain degree, and that is because they have an invasive anti-cheat, which if you don't know what that is basically they can like look at what's operating on your system, and I don't know the full logistics of it, but it's more invasive to your PC than other anti-cheats are. And I don't know if that's the future of anti-cheat. I'm not sure, but this is a problem that's just plaguing gaming in general, and I don't know when the fix is going to come or if we'll get one. And Hartful 13 here, I definitely agree with this looking in hindsight now. 82 by 20s was so a bandage to save Team of the Year, and in a way that was height content besides repeatable 8510s, which obviously comes in like a month or 2. They said, yeah, let's have later me deal with this problem. Later me has come, and this is exactly right. I thought when they dropped the 82 by 20s in Team of the Year time that was kind of going to be the catalyst towards, okay, we're gonna have crazy menu grind like the rest of the year almost, because them dropping that and seeing what we were getting during that, if you don't remember, you could actually make a lot of coins doing that too because they had tradable packs in there. So you were getting untradeable cards, your best chances at Team of the Years while making coins with a menu grind. I thought when that happened, it was going to be inflation time to the max, and they just kind of were going to say fuck it the rest of the year, but it turns out they just did that and then kind of went back to business as usual, which as we know now did not work, right? That was very much a bandage to people are not playing the game as much as we thought they were going to. Team of the Year probably wasn't going as well as they thought, considering the pack weight was so bad. I'm not sure if the money they made was exactly what they'd hoped or whatever, and that did seem to be a bandage. We don't have proof of that, of course, but it really does in hindsight seem that way, considering the menu grind stuff was nowhere even close to Team of the Year 82 by 20s, and that was for what, 2 days? Was that 2 days of content or 3 days of content? One of the two. It was 2 or 3 days where we got the best menu grind we'd seen since FIFA 19 and then never saw it again. To me, there's no way that was something they thought about months and months in advance. I don't think that was the case at all. But yeah, I think you're right. It was just simply a bandage, and now here we are to reap what EA sowed. But yeah, hey, thank you guys all for being here and listening to me today. I appreciate you all. I love you all. So, peace.